Most people will never understand this. They go through life thinking success is about luck, about timing, about working harder than everyone else. They chase opportunities. They chase money. They chase recognition. And yet, they wake up one day and realize they are still exactly where they started. Why? Because they are trapped in a mindset so common, so invisible, that 99% of people don't even see it. I am here to tell you today that there is a silent killer of dreams, a subtle trap that holds most of humanity hostage. And it is not poverty. It is not lack of education. It is not even bad luck. The trap is the way most people think. The trap is believing that success comes from effort alone, that achievement comes from struggle and endurance, that the world owes you something because you deserve it. This mindset, this hidden prison, convinces you to act without vision, to chase without direction, to exhaust yourself while the life you desire slips further away. And the worst part? It feels normal. It feels natural. It feels like everyone else is doing the same. So you must be doing the right thing. But you are not. I want you to imagine for a moment a man who works tirelessly every day, who sacrifices sleep, who sacrifices relationships, who sacrifices peace of mind, and yet he never becomes wealthy, never becomes influential, never reaches the heights he dreams of. Why? Because he is operating under the wrong principle. He is thinking like the 99%. He is trapped in a mindset that sees the world as something to be conquered by force, instead of something to be aligned with by thought, by belief, by vision. Contrast that with the few, the 1% who break free, the ones who seem to attract success effortlessly, who rise while others toil. What is their secret? It is not more effort. It is not luck. It is mastery over their mind. They understand that success is born first in thought, then in action. They know that the outer world is a reflection of the inner world. They know that what you are, what you believe, what you imagine, will shape everything you touch. Today, I want to warn you about this trap. I want to shake the foundations of the way you think about success. Because if you continue to believe the myths that 99% of people cling to, no amount of hard work, no amount of sacrifice, no amount of sleepless nights will ever bring you the life you desire. You must think differently. You must believe differently. You must act differently. And once you understand this, once you see the trap for what it is, a world of possibility opens up to you. A world where your mind, your vision, your belief becomes the magnet that pulls opportunity, wealth, and achievement straight to you, effortlessly, naturally, powerfully. This is the moment where most people hesitate. This is the moment where they decide whether they will remain ordinary, part of the 99%, or whether they will step into the mindset that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. And I promise you, the choice you make today will determine the trajectory of your life forever. Part 1. The mindset trap that silently destroys 99% of people. Let me begin by telling you a truth most people never discover until it is far too late. Your results in life are not determined by what you do, but by the mental blueprint from which you operate. And this is where the great trap begins. Most people walk through life with a mindset shaped by fear, by scarcity, by survival. They believe they must struggle to earn anything. They believe opportunities are rare. They believe success belongs to the lucky, or the gifted, or the privileged few. And what happens when you believe this? You begin to live reactively instead of creatively. You begin to accept whatever life gives you instead of demanding what life owes you. You begin to chase results instead of constructing them in your mind first. This is the mindset trap, the belief that life happens to you instead of through you. People wake up each morning with anxiety thinking, what will happen today? Will I be lucky? Will things get better? Will someone give me a chance? They wait, they hope, they react, but they never create. This is why 99% of people remain stuck. Their minds are shaped by their circumstances, rather than their circumstances being shaped by their minds. They look at their bank account and allow it to dictate their vision. They look at their failures and allow them to shrink their imagination. They look at their past and allow it to become their ceiling. Listen carefully. Your environment is not your limitation. Your mindset is. The ones who break free from this trap never think this way. They understand something the majority do not. The mind is the master power. It creates, it attracts, it repels, it magnetizes. It directs the unseen forces that shape destiny. When your dominant thoughts are fear, hesitation, and doubt, you repel success even while you chase it. When your dominant thoughts are clarity, purpose, and belief, you attract success even while you rest. The tragedy of the 99% is not lack of effort. They work hard. They sacrifice. They push. No. Their tragedy is lack of vision. They build with their hands what should have been constructed first in their minds. They seek the harvest without planting the seed. They chase the reward without aligning with the law that governs rewards. Let me tell you something that will never leave you once you grasp it deeply. Your mind is the workshop of your destiny. Your thoughts are the architects. Your beliefs are the builders. Your actions are merely the final touches on a masterpiece that began internally. If you live with the mindset of the masses, you will live with the results of the masses. If you think like the few who rise, you will rise with them. This is the trap. This is the warning. And this is the first door you must walk through if you want to join the 1% who create their lives instead of merely surviving them. Part 2. How the 1% think differently and why the 99% never see it. Now that you understand the trap, let me reveal to you the mindset that separates the few who rise from the many who remain stuck. Because the difference is not small. It is not subtle. It is the gap between night and day, between stagnation and exponential growth, between hoping for success and commanding it. The 1%, the ones who truly shape the world, possess a mental habit that almost no one talks about. They think from the end, not from the struggle. Most people think in terms of obstacles. The 1% think in terms of outcomes. Most people ask, can I do this? The 1% ask, what version of myself has already done it? Most people say, I will try. The 1% say, I will become. This difference seems small, but it changes everything. Let me give you an example, one that transformed my entire understanding of success. A young man once approached me, desperate and exhausted. His business was failing. His motivation was gone. His spirit was broken. He said, Mr. Hill, I work harder than everyone around me. Why am I not succeeding? And I asked him a simple question. When you think about your business, do you see a thriving enterprise, or do you see a struggling one? He hesitated. He looked down. He whispered, I see the struggle every day. There it was. The trap had him by the throat. He was trying to build success from the vibration of failure, trying to grow from the soil of anxiety, trying to attract abundance while broadcasting fear. The 1% would never approach their goal this way. They would form a mental image, clear, vivid, detailed, of the exact result they desire. They would hold it in their mind until it feels more real than the present. And then their thoughts begin aligning. Their decisions begin sharpening. Their actions begin accelerating. Their environment begins shifting. Because the mind, once fixed on a destination, starts bending reality around it. Think of Edison. He did not sit in his workshop questioning whether the light bulb was possible. No. He held the image of the light already shining long before the world saw it. That image guided him through every failure, every mistake, every sleepless night. He thought from the end, and the end shaped the path. Think of Henry Ford. When the entire world told him the 8-cylinder engine was impossible, he said, build it anyway, because he had already created it in his mind. And when the mind believes fully, the world has no choice but to catch up. This is the power the 1% possess. They do not react to the present. They create the future. They do not allow circumstances to dictate their thoughts. They allow their thoughts to dictate their circumstances. But here is the part most people miss. Thinking from the end is not fantasy. It is alignment. It is the mental preparation that allows success to find you. It is the inner shift that must occur before the outer world can change. The 99% wait for results to believe. The 1% believe to get results. Most people wake up hoping the world will give them a better day. The 1% wake up determined to give the world a better version of themselves. Most people dream at night. The 1% dream while they're awake. And this is why they rise. Not because they are special, not because they are lucky, but because they master the single greatest power every human being possesses, the ability to build their destiny in the mind before it appears in their hands. The question now is simple. Will you continue thinking like the 99%? Or will you choose to step into this higher level of consciousness? Because once you begin thinking from the end, once you begin imagining the result before the effort, your entire life begins to reorganize itself around that vision. Part 3, the shift you must make today. To escape the mindset trap and join the 1%, you do not need luck or talent or connections. You need one decision to think from the vision, not from the struggle. Here is how you begin. Create a clear mental picture of the life you want, not vague, not hopeful, precise, vivid, detailed. Hold that image every day, especially when circumstances contradict it. Your present does not define you. Your vision does. Act from the future version of yourself. Ask daily, how would the successful me behave right now? Protect your mind from doubt, negativity, and environments that shrink your imagination. What enters your mind becomes your reality. These 4 steps are simple, but they require discipline, because the world will always try to pull you back into the mindset of the majority, fearful, reactive, and blind to their own power. But once you escape that trap, even once, your life will never look the same again. You will stop chasing success and start attracting it. You will stop reacting to life and start creating it. You will stop thinking like the 99% and begin rising with the 1%. And that, right there, is the moment everything changes.